Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a great real estate market which I think is going to be poised for tremendous growth in the future. I think this market is going to be great for seasoned real estate investors, but also for beginners that are jumping into the real estate investment game. Only for the simple fact that these houses are way cheaper here in this market compared to other parts of the country. Before I dive deep into the market, I just want to share with you that I only personally invest in appreciating markets. Everyone's investment criteria is different. There are markets out there where you can make great cash flow. You can buy a $60,000 house and rent it out for $800 to $900 a month in rent. But for some reason, in those particular cash flow markets, those houses never seem to go up. For my investing criteria, I want to create wealth faster, and that's the main reason I only invest in appreciating markets. To me, it's more fun to invest in markets where there is a greater potential for houses to go up in value. Now, on the negative side, in investing in appreciating markets, you'll find that the rent versus house price are a lot of times very far apart, but not on this market. So the market that I discovered a little while ago through a friend of mine is Chattanooga, Tennessee. This area, in my mind, has all the makings, all the ingredients that make for a great real estate investment in the future. And I'll tell you why in a sec. But before I do, if you're getting some value out of this and you like this video so far, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button. So there are 4 key criteria that I look at when I evaluate and investigate new areas to invest. So number 1, reasonable house prices versus rent prices. Number 2, long-term trend of population growth or migration to the area. Number 3, job growth with a future positive outlook. And finally, number 4, quality of life, which encompasses a few things that I'll discuss in a few minutes later. So these are the key secret ingredients that make a great real estate market. And if you want to understand the fundamentals or understand why, please check out my video on that where I just released it a couple weeks ago. So to give you a little bit of a description, Chattanooga has a couple nicknames, Gig City and Scenic City. It was named Gig City because it had the fastest broadband service for a city in the Western Hemisphere. And of course, Scenic City because it described the beauty of the area. When I was there, I was really impressed how green and lush it was. Ironically, it was also labeled the dirtiest city in America a long time ago, until forward-thinking leaders actually transformed and revitalized the area for the 21st century. So moving forward, I want to start off with Chattanooga's housing prices. They are very reasonable compared to the rest of the nation. So as a gauge from this chart, we see the median price of a house in the US is $346,000. Currently, we're in an upcycle in real estate which started in 2012. So finding sleepy markets that hasn't gone up during this cycle has been a real challenge for investors. However, we see here on the left side, Chattanooga's median price for a home is $225,000, which is much lower than the $340,000 median of the US. And I could definitely tell you guys, you can buy houses way cheaper in Chattanooga than the $225K median. However, even at $225K, that is a huge 34% difference in median prices compared to the national price. To me, that is a very positive indicator saying that there's a lot of runway left for appreciation. But I want to tell you something else in a sec because it gets better. Ideally for me, I want to find and invest in housing markets that have not matured out in price. Take, for example, the cities of California, where the high housing costs and high costs of living are pushing people out into different states looking for cheaper places to live. To me, these places have matured out. Ordinary people just cannot get ahead in life when the cost of living in houses becomes so high. So when I see attractive cities that are still under the median national price, it's an indicator to me that you as an investor are still early to the game. Here we see in Zillow that Chattanooga has been rising in price for a number of years, similar to the rest of the country. I would be the first to admit that Chattanooga has already popped, and are on some people's radar screens, as you can see from the chart. But still, in my opinion, it still has a long, long way to go. Price-wise, I love it because I can personally tell you that despite the $225K median for that area, you can still buy houses in the $140 to $150K range in the up-and-coming neighborhoods of that area. What is also great is that for a $150K house, you can reasonably get $1,400 to $1,500 a month in rent for it. I personally know because I've already made a couple purchases there, so these are real world numbers. From my experience, this great ratio of rent to housing prices is really hard to get in appreciating markets. Usually it's quite far apart. So we have decent house prices versus rent prices. So next, let's take a look at population growth for the area because that's another key component that I actually look at. If you look at this chart, population is rising, which is another great indicator for the area. If you guys are curious of where people are moving to now, check out that book called Big Shifts Ahead by John Burns. The author or writer of the book practically gave away $1 million of information for free. The book describes what areas will be booming in the future, and places like the Southeast and Tennessee are just poised for tremendous growth in the future. These are the places where future real estate wealth are going to be created in the coming years. The demographic information of this book perfectly coincides with the population growth you're seeing in Tennessee and these other areas that are growing at a tremendous clip. Now onto another key component that makes real estate markets boom, and that is job growth. And from this article, Chattanooga is going to be offering a lot of them. Prior to the pandemic, it had the best hiring outlook for any major metropolitan area. When I was there, I took a meeting with the Economic Development Department in downtown to see what they were doing to help the local economy and its citizens thrive. It was eye-opening to hear that they understood how the knowledge economy and the tech economy are keys to creating higher paying jobs. They were pro-growth, pro-entrepreneurial, and very willing to help its local citizens thrive, and that synergy was undeniable. Now in this article, which supports what the Economic Development Department told me, Chattanooga is outperforming other cities as a startup hub. Living in San Francisco, I have firsthand knowledge of how tech companies can drastically affect local real estate prices. It goes on to say that their citywide broadband internet has helped the growth of tech companies in the area, which to me is a very positive indicator for housing in the local economy. Knowing how they installed the fastest internet infrastructure, in addition to their very pro-growth policies in helping entrepreneurs thrive in the local economy, and in addition to their future and tech-forward approach, makes me really think that this area is going to boom in the future. The combination of cheap houses, plentiful jobs, and a lot of people migrating to the area are the secret ingredients that make houses go up in the future. So we covered house prices, population growth, future job outlook. The final thing I look at is the quality of life for the area. This is of course not as important as the three first criteria I discussed, but people generally want to move to areas that are attractive, so it's another data point to consider. And here in this article, Chattanooga, also known as Scenic City, definitely has the beauty and the cultural scene. And I can personally attest that the food in this town is on par with major cities. So you guys have this broad overview of Chattanooga, and there's only so much I can fit into this short video. But for those interested, it begs anyone to delve deeper to understand the area, but I truly believe that the fundamentals are there. So let me know what you think about Chattanooga. And if you guys are really interested in the area, comment below, and I can definitely pass on some tips that will help you understand the region more. And also check out my other videos where I break down the secret ingredients to great housing markets and my take on Florida as a place to invest for the future. I hope you guys enjoyed my take on Chattanooga, and I'll see you guys on the next one.